Be merciful, just as your Father is merciful. This is the message of Jesus in the Sermon on the Plain from today's Gospel reading in Luke. Now, this message is similar to another message that we see in Matthew's Gospel, where Jesus says to be perfect as your heavenly Father is perfect. Now, both instances set up God as the ideal that we are to imitate, and they both communicate something important to us. Now, sometimes when we compare these two statements, we think that imitating God's perfection is a tall order and difficult to follow, and it is. And sometimes we think of this other call to imitate God's mercy as the more accessible task. But perhaps it's the more difficult one. So what is mercy, and what does it mean to imitate God's mercy? We often think of mercy in terms of forgiveness, and we often reduce mercy to forgiveness. And indeed, forgiveness is a major part of mercy. But mercy is more than forgiveness. Mercy is a kind of generous giving that goes beyond what's been earned. And not just in the extension of forgiveness, but in other ways as well. Giving material goods, and ultimately giving ourselves to others in love. The word for mercy here, oiktermos, evokes the image of a visceral kind of compassion, something welling up from deep within us. And this deep image then not only tells us that we should, in our acts, imitate God the Father and do as God does, rather, it also tells us that we should be like God. Our identity, how we understand ourselves, how we conceive of our lives, should be shaped around mercy. This deep love and compassion for others. So, if we're to imitate God, let's ask the question, how merciful is God? Well, God is infinitely merciful. So then, when is our task of being merciful complete? Never. It must keep on going and keep on growing. So today, let us start this tall task of imitating God's infinite mercy by taking the first step and examining the things that we do every day. And let us ask ourselves this: am I showing God's mercy in the things I do every day? Or, as is probably the case with most of us, do I have some work to do?